So you want your dog to be a confident, happy companion you can take anywhere? Well, you're in the right spot. We're going to break down exactly how to find the perfect dog trainer for you and your pup right here in Bakersfield. Yeah, owning a dog in Bakersfield is, well, it's its own thing, right? And this quote really nails it. We're talking about more than just sit and stay. It's about building real skills for our community, like dealing with those scorching sidewalks or staying cool when a big rig rumbles past. All right, here's our game plan. We'll touch on training specifically for life here in Bakersfield, how to find the right pro, what different formats and costs look like, the questions you absolutely need to ask, and then we'll wrap up with some local rules and resources. Sound good? Okay, first up, training for Bakersfield life. This is all about making sure the training you do actually applies to your real everyday life here. The real goal isn't to have a dog who's perfect in a sterile training room. It's to have a dog who can calmly walk with you along the Riverwalk, even with all the distractions. A dog who can hang out and not lose their mind when you're near Valley Plaza. It's about having a real partner for your life here. So, moving on. We know what we want to achieve, but how do we find the right person to help us get there? Let's talk about what to look for in a professional trainer. Okay, you're going to hear this term a lot. Positive reinforcement. And it's not just about bribing your dog with treats. It's a whole philosophy. It's about using rewards, things your dog actually loves, like a toy, praise, or, yes, a tasty snack, to encourage the behaviors we want. This approach builds trust and makes your dog want to learn, which is so different from old-school methods that used fear. Here's the thing. Pretty much anyone can print up business cards and call themselves a dog trainer. It's an unregulated industry. That's why credentials matter so much. They're proof that a trainer has put in the work, studied animal behavior, and passed actual exams. It's a really good first check when you're looking for someone. And yeah, you're going to see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, kind of like alphabet soup. Don't let it intimidate you. They just tell you about a trainer's background. For instance, something like CBC-K means they have special training for more serious issues like aggression. These little letters really do tell you a lot about their level of expertise. All right, let's get into the practical side of things. What are your actual options for training and, what's it going to cost? Let's look at the formats and the local costs here in Bakersfield. So you've basically got two main choices, in-home training or group classes. They're both great, but for different things. In-home is perfect for working on stuff that happens at home, like your dog going bonkers when the doorbell rings. Group classes, on the other hand, are awesome for practicing focus when there are other dogs and people around. It's a controlled way to add distractions. Okay, let's talk numbers. This table gives you a pretty good idea of what you can expect to pay for different types of training here in the area, from a basic puppy class all the way up to those intensive board and train options. Just having these ranges can help you figure out what works for your budget. All right, next up, let's say you've found a couple of trainers you're interested in. Now what? Well, now you interview them, and showing up with the right questions is going to help you feel way more confident in your decision. This first one is huge. Ask them straight up, what methods do you use? What you're listening for is that commitment to keeping things positive and low stress. You want to hear that their goal is to make learning fun and rewarding for your dog, not scary. Next, you want to know how they'll tailor the training for your dog and your life. Are they just going to give you a generic one-size-fits-all plan, or will they ask about your dog's quirks and what you actually want to achieve? Whether that's just a peaceful walk around the block or chilling on a patio somewhere. And this last one is about the long game. How will you both know you're making progress? A good trainer should be able to tell you how they'll measure success, and, just as important, how they'll help you slowly add more challenges without overwhelming your dog. It's all about building confidence, step by step. Okay, before we move on to the last section, I want to share a quick tip. This is especially for anyone who has a newly adopted dog. The most important thing you can give them at first is time. It's called the 3-3-3 rule, and it's a fantastic guide. For the first 3 days, your new dog is just overwhelmed and decompressing. By 3 weeks, they're starting to learn your routines. And it can take up to 3 months for them to really start to feel settled and at home. So just keeping that in mind can make a huge difference as you start training. And that brings us to our last section, Bakersfield rules and resources. Because being a great dog owner isn't just about training, it's also about being a great neighbor here in Kern County. So here are a few key local rules to be aware of. The basics. Leashes are required in public spaces, you need a city license, and of course they need to be up to date on their rabies vaccine. These aren't just rules, they're about
So once you've been working on some skills, where can you go to practice? Well, we've got some great spots. The dog park at Hart Memorial Park is perfect for that off-leash recall practice in a fenced area. And those pads at Riverwalk, absolutely ideal for working on your loose leash walking. There's even a park with some agility equipment.
So when you put it all together, what does good training really give you? It opens up your world. It means more adventures together and way less stress for both of you. Just imagine confident walks downtown, relaxing at the park, maybe even hanging out on a patio with friends. We really hope this gives you the tools you need to find that perfect training partner. Good luck building an amazing life with your dog right here in Bakersfield.